Hello and welcome to the video on Power BI. In this video, let us take a look at how we can calculate the retention rate between 2 months. For the purpose of this video, the data set that I am going to use is coming from the AdventureWorks 2019 data warehouse, and the tables that I am going to use are the fact, internet sales and the dim date. Before getting into the video, I would like to show you this table which is going to display the calendar year, English month name and number of customers for that month. I am using this table just to cross verify the numbers that we are going to get as part of our retention rate calculation. Currently I've already created a measure called retention rate which is currently blank, and the reason that I've given this comment is for getting the retention rate between 2 months, probably we need to know what is the number of customers from the current month who are also part of the previous month. But since in my case I'm having data only for the year 2013, what I'm going to do is, like, in place of current month I'm going to consider the max month, and for the previous month I'm going to consider the month that is before the max month. So as the requirement says, I first need the current date. So in my case it's the max date, so I'm going to use the max function along with that order date, since I'm going to do this entire calculation based on the order date. So this is going to give me the max date, but all I want is the max month. So I'm going to use the month function to get the max month. I'll also rename this to current month. The next variable that I would require is previous month. So here I'm going to do the same thing, but one difference is I'm going to consider the month that is before the max month. So in this case I'm considering the max date and then taking out the month from that max date, and then I'm just going to negate it with a 1. So this is going to return me the previous month. I'll just return these things so to verify if our number is good. So I'm currently returning the current month. I'll just pull this measure into a card visual probably to see what is the exact month. My expectation is I should be seeing 12. Yes, because December is the last month, it is going to show a 12 here. And for the previous month, this should be showing 11. So as per our expectation, this is going to show the number 11. Yes, now these two details are as expected. Now the next step is we need to know how many customers have been coming to our shop, or how many customers are part of a certain month. So in my case, first I'm going to get the current month customers, and for this purpose I'm going to use the same internet sales table, and then I'm going to use the customer key along with the order date. So I'm going to use a calculate function where I'm going to first give a table, and this table I'm going to use the internet sales table, fact internet sales table, and I'm going to just filter this table for that particular month that I want to see. So in this case, month of order date should be equal to the current month. So this filter is going to filter the table from this fact internet sales table for this current month. So in this case it is 12 December, and once this is filtered, I'm going to set up a expression wherein I don't need a filter because my table is already filtered. I'm just going to use the customer key from the same table. I'll use a summarize here. Yes, summarize, and in the table I've already filtered this table, and for the I'm just going to name it as number of customers, and I'm just giving a column name. So now I want to so I just need the customer key in this table, nothing much, and this summarize function is completed. Now what I'll do is, like, I'll return the current month customers. Now this card visual now should show me 2133 as the value. let me go and see what is the error here. A table of multiple values. Yes, so basically this is going to be a table, but I'm trying to display it in a single value. So for our representational purpose, what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to use a count rows, and this count rows, once I use, it is going to give me 2133 as the number, because 2133 are the number of customers in the month of December for which we are seeing. Now taking the previous month visual, I'm just going to copy the same code. I'm going to declare a new variable called previous month customer, and here I'll use the same DAX function, just that for the month I'm going to use, instead of the current month, I'm going to use the previous month. Since I already have this count rows there, I will just replace it here, and I'm going to see the number of customers for the previous month. So in our case it is going to be 2036. Yes, so now we are sure that our current month customers and the previous month customers are matching with what are the number of customers in those months. Now I do not want to actually use this as a count rows, because we do not really know who are the customers that are part of current month but were also present in the previous month. So I just want this data to be a table as is. I'm going to remove this count rows here in both the cases. Then what I'll do is, I'll create one more count rows here, and I'm going to use the intersect function. So intersect function, as the name says, it's going to consider two tables, and it is going to just return only those values that are part of both the tables. So in my case, my left table is the primary table, and which is the current month customers, because I want to know the current month customers who are also part of the previous month. So my right table is going to be the previous month customer. So intersect is again a table. So to display it in a visual, in a card visual, I just want to use a count rows function. Now if I click on enter, this is going to show me a number which is the intersection between these two months. This means that there are 81 customers who are part of December and were also part of November. This again we can cross check and cross verify this by creating a calculated table out of this, which I'll show at the end of this video. Now proceeding further, now that we have the number of customers who are repeating between the current month and the previous month, to get the retention rate, we just need to divide this value which we are using here, and which is going to act as the numerator, with a denominator, and my denominator is going to be the current month customer in this case. So now this will be, now what this will do is, like, I need to use a count rows function here. Now what this is going to do is, like, it is going to divide the 81, which is the intersection between two months, by the number of customers who are part of the current month, which is 2133. Since this value will be very small, it is getting shown as 0. I'll convert this into a percentage, and then you will see what exactly is the percentage repeating. So it is 4%. Now to cross verify if this 4% is correct, I'm just going to use a calculator, wherein I'll use 81 divided by 2133 multiplied by 100, and it is 3.79, so which is 4% roughly. Now going to the next question, like, if this 81 is correct, so for that purpose what I'm going to do is, like, I'm just going to take the same thing but going to create a calculated table. I'm going into this table view and click on table tools, new table, and here I'm going to paste the same code that I've used for the measure, but just that there are small changes I'm going to do. I'll just name this as a table, and instead of using a divide and count rows, I'm just going to use this intersect function as is. Now this is going to return me only those customers who are repeating or who are present in both the months. So as you can see, it is 81 rows at the bottom, so which means that our intersection is giving the right number of customers, and the 4% retention rate that we are calculating is the expected retention rate, or I would say the calculation is perfectly fine. If this number is an expected one or not, that is not our problem. That goes with the that goes with the store manager. But 4% is the number of customers that are repeating between December and November, which means, to put it in a different way, the 4% of customers who have come in November have come back in December. That's the retention rate for this particular store. Now, since that we know that 4% is the retention rate between 2 months, so how do we scale it, or how do we do this for multiple months? So that's where the disadvantage of this method comes in. Like, this is not scalable. You can do this for say 3 months or so, but you will have to repeat the calculation for 3 months. But this is not a very scalable solution. The other disadvantage of this is the intersect function. As you have already seen, the intersect function can always compare between 2 months or between two tables. So it is always going to restrict you to compare between two tables. You cannot just take a particular month and see what is the retention of that particular month, or from that particular month for the last 6 months or last 12 months. That's not going to work. So that's the disadvantage of this method. To know how we can achieve that, keep following this channel. I would say that you can like, subscribe and comment this channel, and you will find that information in the upcoming videos.